we are going to look at actual real copy, spec pieces, and copy that people are doing. And we are going to share our thoughts, our insights, what we've learned, what could help make it better, and generally provide feedback to help you get better. If you are interested in participating with your copy in one of these Whetstone Wednesdays, you have to be a Patreon member at patreon.com/thecopythatshow, in which case we will potentially review your copy. I have with me the lovely Rod. I have with me the lovely Lindsey. This is an email. Context. Dean Graziosi, well-known businessman, worked with the likes of Russell Brunson, Richard Branson, Tony Robbins. He's written a book for people who want to get out of the rat race and make money from anywhere in the world. Reader is a solution-aware audience who feels like there is more to life and business and money and can help achieve that. Idea. Reader and most people understand money and success wrong, and this book will put reader in the know. Offer a free plus shipping book, which gives the handbook. Okay, this links to a sales page, and this is the sales page. Just really quick, John, thank you so much for putting all this context. This is so incredibly helpful. And seriously, if you submit copy like this as a spec piece, they're going to appreciate it. So this is the free plus shipping book offer. Get your free hardcover book, A Million Success Habits. Very bullet-driven landing page. Goes straight into social proof. This is a sort of standard format for book promo. When you're writing an email, trying to drive traffic to this page that is primarily existing to build enough intrigue so that people get the book. Let's get into the email. Headline: These 6 shout buy for this book. Hi, name. Many highly self-motivated people believe most books on money and success are helpful. Gesundheit. This is wrong. They are being misled. My new book proves that, and 6 other well-known, highly successful, and wealthy people agree. I spent a lot of time discovering what the real culprit is. Other books on the subject lack clarity on what actionable steps to take. I'm going to stop right here.
It's too much about the book.
Yeah.
You're not selling them on the book. When you're in someone's inbox, it's not about telling them, hey, buy the book, because that's what the next page is designed to do. But also, even when you're on the book page, it's not about the book as much as the information in the book, the sort of outcomes you'll get as a result of reading the book, the things you glean, the insights, the intrigue, the mystery. Books are boring as hell. And so when you're selling books and things like books, you need to distance your sort of like sales rhetoric as much from the book as possible.
If the job of this is to build intrigue for the book, this is not about like, hey, here's why, this book is going to work. It's like, hey, here's just enough information to allure you to want to buy the book. What is the job of the email? It's just to provide enough information to get you to click to learn more about the book.
A book is 2 things. One, a book is a literal physical object that you have, and very few people want a physical book. The other thing a book is a vessel that contains any amount of knowledge. I think that is much more intriguing. And so the book in its capacity as the thing that contains all the things that these people need to know if they want all of their outcomes that they want to have.
Yeah.
I think that's much more interesting. And so when you write things like buy this book, that's not intriguing because it's like buy this physical object. I think the word buy conjures up that physicality in a way that's like, that's not sexy.
Yeah. And you're trying to convince people to buy a book in this email instead of trying to convince people to click.
With any book that you're trying to sell, you're trying to sell them on the idea that they can be anything. They just need to take a look. It's in the book. Reading Rainbow. Really what you're selling here is not this, what self-motivated people believe.
Mm-hmm.
You're not just trying to sell against alternatives, other books that are misleading. You're trying to build fascination to learn more about this.
Mm-hmm.
And so more interesting than these 6 shout buy for the book, more interesting might be to go down, find a case study like this one, Simple Master Pete Dean's book, Satterwhite with Universal Truth, focus on actionable techniques. You can start to just tease a little bit more about what's going on the actual page and make it more aspirational. Find out the tool rather than calling it the book that these people are using to learn the truth about money. And now all of a sudden people go to the page, they discover the tool is the book.
No one cares that the book is announced it. They care that there is a truth that they don't know.
So it's like these 6 shout buy for this book. That's just confusing. I think is there a missing word in there?
I think he was thinking that 6 would be like a stand-in for 6 people.
Yeah, I find that confusing. Many highly self-motivated people believe most books on money and success are helpful. This is wrong. They're being misled. My new book says that other highly successful people agree that they're wrong. Like, this is just very confusing, first of all. I mean, like, you're trying to make a very blanket statement that self-motivated people who agree that these books are helpful are wrong, but other self-motivated people say that, you know, they're right in being wrong. I like, that's so confusing. Most books on money and success are terrible because they're all about theory and don't have any action steps. That's what this person is trying to say. But then they're also just trying to throw in credibility to that statement, but they don't use anything credible. They're just saying highly self-motivated people think this and wealthy people think this, but there's no specificity there. It's just another, like, just random blanket statement. Those are my big problems with the first few lines.
So this is the other email. Also, I believe for the same product, same audience, solution aware. I feel like in general, focusing on a problem aware audience is probably going to be a better approach. The reason why I say that is because most people know that they don't have money. But like most people, when it comes to the solutions that will work for them, I would say about 95% of them are thoroughly ignorant. In general, especially when talking about financial stuff, going a little bit more indirect tends to work a little bit better, unless that person is already like familiar with the business, buying from your business, things like that. Because then you can just be like, hey, this cool thing that you probably want is now on sale for 40% off. And usually that's enough to get people to buy.
We've got this for you. Hey, everyone is talking about my new book and how it is helping them use money skills that can be cultivated at any age to grow their personal and business income. My businesses have done hundreds of millions of dollars in sales, and I own over $20 million in real estate. In that time, what I've realized is most money and success books leave readers empty-handed and confused about how to apply their rah-rah advice. In my book, I went into great detail about the one thing Richard Branson, Russell Brunson, Tony Robbins, and many other successful entrepreneurs all agree about when it comes to the real success formula. This book brings fresh clarity for people who are motivated to bring a better life for themselves. People like you. People who do not afford to doubt whether they will make it and do not have the luxury of folding their big dreams neatly under their bed, postponing them. Because you're already motivated, I agreed with the publishers of my book to make it free, and they'll cover the cost of distributing it to you through shipping fees. My publishers only print the book when you request a copy here. You will start to look at success and money in a completely new light that brings clarity and confidence. You can act faster with less doubt, stress, or confusion. That's what this book is all about. Dean. P.S. This is what Russell Brunson said about the book. You should get this book no matter what. I paid this guy $100K to be a part of his mastermind, and you can learn from him for just a few bucks.
I love that quote from Russell Brunson. Again, I don't know how aware this audience is, but that might be something that I would put a little higher. But okay, starting from the beginning, headline, we've got this for you. Like that just is not doing anything at all in terms of headline. You have to remember that people have lives. Everybody's super busy. They're coming at this email in the middle of lunch, their work break very quickly. They are coming at this email at, completely unaware of what this actually is. And so I would revisit this headline. Do you have any thoughts on the headline, Rod?
Yeah, I don't have a huge issue with the idea of like a free gift headline, but in this case, it's so unspecific.
Yeah.
Can you specify who this is going out to? Like,
Assumption I made is that these people are on Dean's list and so possibly already know about the book.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
So if it's coming,
totally fine.
and if it's coming from Dean, and then the subject line is "We've got this for you," like still, even if you're assuming that these people are on his list and they know who he is, they know what he's about, you can still specify, like, what are you talking about here?
If they're already on his list, you can be way more direct about it.
Yeah.
Here's a free copy of my newest book.
I mean, another thing with that too is if they're on his list and they know about the book, why haven't they bought it yet? At Agora Financial, we had a contest, a company-wide contest to write an email selling James Altucher's new book, The Side Hustle Bible. And I came in second place. I actually missed first place by one order. We sold, tens of thousands of dollars of this book. like just in a series over the course of this contest. I was so mad because Jimmy Parent beat me by 1 order. Grr. And he basically did the same thing I did. Here was my email, subject line, hey, check out my new book. And then the body of the copy was just, hey, I wrote a new book. Do you want to check it out? I think it's my best one yet. Here's some things about it. And then I included 5 bullets, just copy pasted from the promo itself. And then, I hope you like it. Let me know. That came in 2nd place. That had the 2nd most orders for this book. That's all you need.
That was going to be the next thing that I think this email needs is bullets. Like, you're making a big to-do about the fact that your book is about specificity, but you're doing like no specific work in here at all, other than just talking like about, very big grandiose claims. If you are going to go out and knock all of these other authors for their lack of specific actionable steps, do some work here with bullets, showing people the types of actions that you are going to teach people how to do.
Imagine an email, subject line, I finally cracked the code for building wealth in America or something like that. And it opens up, disruption like, after 12 years, I finally cracked it. And then like have some sort of like systematization that you give it a name. Like, the problem that most people have and that most books on wealth have is that they teach blah, and that it could be anything, as long as it's evocative, as long as it stirs the imagination and gets people's attention. But just coming up with like these lateral systematizations, these very clear metaphors and reframings of things that allow you to get somebody's attention and build intrigue for the thing that you're trying to ultimately get them to click towards. You're trying to sell people on the click. Here's the book that has turned so many people into millionaires. Check out what Russell Brunson had to say about it. Right now, there's a special offer. Click here to see what it is. And then in parentheses, if you act on this in time, you might be able to get this book for free.
If you are sending this to his existing list, so much of what you're doing at the top in terms of qualifying, everyone's talking about it. My businesses have done millions of dollars in sales. I have this much in real estate. People already know he's successful, and so you don't need to say that. Just cut to the chase.
Yeah. And like, if you feel like the list is responsive or needs some additional push, open with a story. Like, I was down on the bathroom floor sobbing. I had lost all my money again. I couldn't believe that I had done this to my family, etc. And just, build an evocative story that leads to the solution that he discovered and why he felt it was necessary to put his solution into a book. There you go. That would build intrigue and also establish that credibility. That's one of the rare occasions where I would recommend actually using a story in a lift. John, go revise. Focus on clarity, concision, succinctness, context, and in general, thinking about specificity and being more intriguing. Keep in mind that you are just trying to get the click, and sometimes you don't really need to do a whole lot to do that. So, quick question: could I have written this lift as someone who has read Dean's book rather than trying to write as Dean himself? And yes, the answer is absolutely. In Copy We Like, I actually recently posted a full sales letter that was from the perspective of a customer of Stansberry and Associates Research. You absolutely can, so long as you have the permission of the company and clearance to do so. You can write as yourself. There were a number of promos published by Stansberry and Associates written by Mike Palmer. Mike Palmer was their head copywriter. The sign-off was the copywriter. The copywriter can sometimes be a character, like the person who's delivering information. The copywriter doesn't always have to hide in the bushes like a creep, even though most copywriters are. That's just who they are. I mean, he snuck in here. I don't know how he got here.